The SACP and CONTRALESA are meeting over issues affecting the country, local government and traditional leadership. They're currently briefing the media. Let us listen into that and find out what the outcome is.
Comrade Joyce Mulo-Moropa, our National Treasurer, and Comrade Tula Sinesi, our Deputy National Chairperson. We've got several other members of the CC who are seated with you, a part and parcel of the 4.5-hour discussion. Comrade Mandla, when you joined us, you joined us when we have decided to go public on this discussion. So we've had extensive discussions. So we were preparing our statement at the time that you are now seated here, and want to apologize for further delaying you. We're not going to read every single sentence, but we will issue this formal communique after this press conference. The most important thing is to highlight the fact that we held these bilateral discussions between our two formations, which was a reconnection from the last time we met when the Communist Party was launching its campaign, Maubuye Umhlaba, the land program. We were the first political organization, literally, to take up this question for the return of the land to its rightful owners, the people of our country, and its custodians, the traditional leaders. This process has been quite frustrating over the years. We have reconnected once more as these leaders, the Communist Party, and CONTRALESA, which is an organization of our traditional leaders in South Africa. Firstly, to reaffirm the fact that the SACP over the years has always respected the role of traditional leaders in our society. We know that bourgeois media had created an impression that we were not in consonant with traditional leadership. That's further from the truth. We have also recognized the historical role of our traditional leaders in their heroic fight against colonialism and imperialism in our country, in the defense of the land, in making many battles in which literally traditional leaders in their own right, some died in battle defending our land, which today remains in the hands of the minority, although government claims that constitutionally is in charge of the land, but everyone can see it is not the case. So it is in this regard that we felt that we needed to have to reconnect, look into the conditions facing our people under traditional leadership in our communities, and politically the role of the Communist Party as a part of the working class. We as a party have been visiting various communities across the country, and we have also in that process reconnected with our traditional leadership structures and leadership of the people on the ground. And they know very well that we have paid appropriate homage as we engage with them in their respective communities, not to patronize them. We hate patronage of any form, but to engage them about the living conditions of our communities, which the democratic movement has not supported them appropriately. We'll talk to this particular question later on in the statement. It is our view that collectively, that traditional leaders are an integral part to national development, and that we as the progressive forces, as well as the institution of traditional leadership, need to work together. So this bilateral today was very important, particularly given the crisis of national transformation agenda in our country. Therefore, the bilateral meeting observed pertinent issues that affect our people and the crisis of leadership in our country. We agreed that there's a general lack of leadership for our country, and that the country is on autopilot. In fact, to an extent, this country seems to be remote controlled by forces other than the forces located in this country. Because had it been the case, we can understand how the situation continues to aggravate and worsen without responding to the needs of the people. It is therefore our view in this regard that we need to work together to refocus the leadership challenge in our country to respond to the needs of our people, starting with economic needs of our people. And therefore, we will work together to respond to economic policies that are required to change the situation facing our people on the ground. We equally, in this respect, commonly rejected, which we have done individually as organization, but commonly have rejected the imposter of the government of national unity as nothing short of a political capitulation to the interest of reactionary forces and imperialist and colonial forces in our country. We disdain this structure that has been established in the name of our people. But the main thing that we agreed remains to be addressed, which we have agreed to intensify in our common struggles, is the return of the land to its rightful owners and its custodians. And therefore, we have agreed to roll out a joint program to realize this objective in the short to medium term. We're not going to make this another decade of struggle when centuries of struggle have been there to defend this land, and we've got a democratic mandate as a people, and this democratic mandate is being wasted. We have said jointly that if there are problems, we will have to mobilize for national referendum to resolve the land question. Because parliamentarians have been wasting time, government has been wasting time on this so important a question affecting our society. The reason why we have poverty in this country is because the land has been dispossessed from its rightful owners, the people of this country, and those who have historically played custodian role on behalf of the people, the traditional leaders. The wealth of this land has been abstracted by corporates, and the state is looking aside when the resources of our country are siphoned outside the country, enriching a few minority, when the majority of our people live in poverty, in particular traditional communities, and across the country as a whole, but particularly in traditional communities. And our traditional leaders have been made helpless to just oversee poverty of their people, with their hands tied down by the so-called democratic government. It is therefore important that the rollout of this program will be worked out by a joint working group that we have set up today, led by the two offices, General Secretary Mkiva, and in my office as well in the SACP. We have established working groups to work out all the details, including this question on the referendum. And we have agreed to embark on joint mobilization of our communities to support this call for the referendum, because the parliamentary gimmick is not going to end soon. And we have seen that reactionary forces, they will use every single trick in the book to abuse the law to delay this question. And for us, this can no longer be delayed. It is in this regard that we have agreed this will be our principal program for the return of the land. We have also indicated that against this background of calling for the referendum, we have also heard as the Communist Party in this meeting today some very disturbing statistics where traditional leaders are being killed, murdered, assassinated in big numbers across the country. That over the last 3 years, almost 60 traditional leaders have been killed. And amongst them, 52 of these, or majority, almost 52 plus, were from KwaZulu-Natal province. And only 1 or 2 matters have managed to reach the courts. It is quite clear that government is not paying special proper attention to the lives of traditional leaders. But it has also exposed the fact that our kings and queens are not treated the same across the country. So they are not even protected. This is a matter that worries us. And we have called that government must ensure immediate protection of traditional leaders across the country and provide equal support according to their stipulations in terms of seniority of various traditional houses. So this matter is also urgent and important for us. We have also agreed to address the general crisis of crime in our communities. And in this regard, we'll be working with traditional leaders to make sure that we get rid of crimes in our different communities and we work together jointly. And in this regard, we in the Communist Party are launching a program around the 18th of May in Muruleng in the Northwest. And one of the key tasks we'll be launching is a fight against crime. And we hope that kind of a posture will roll out to different communities as well, so that we fight crime in general, but especially this crime against traditional leaders. We have also called for a special task team to be set up by government, especially the Minister of the Police, to investigate these killings of traditional leaders across the country. This for us is urgent because it seems there's a calculated move to wipe out our history through the killing of traditional leaders. And therefore, we are concerned about this matter. We hope that we'll be jointly writing to the relevant ministries to call for this urgent intervention as soon as it's possible. But like I said, we'll be rolling out a common program to make sure that we eliminate crime in our communities, because traditional leaders are also affected also as ordinary members of society. But in this instance, there's never been such a high number of category of leaders who lost their lives over a short period of time than the traditional leaders in our country today. And this is a matter of serious concern for us. We have also jointly rejected, on the contemporary questions facing our society, the VAT increase by our government, albeit reserved, particularly after a court case. And we share common concern and ideas in condemning any intention to bring back a form of VAT or to reverse the court outcomes by reversing the achievement against this VAT. And therefore, we call on government to relook into this matter and ensure that other options are found for taxation methods, especially the idea on the increase of company tax, as well as other methods that unorthodox or economists have put on the table as alternatives to generate income for the state. And therefore, we have agreed on this matter and work together to ensure that other methods are found, and therefore our people are always protected and not punished the same. The poor and the rich are punished by the same tool, same economic tool in this regard of taxation, even though their capacity is not the same. When you increase the VAT, you don't change the fact that when you go to the shops, a billionaire and a poor person who's unemployed will have to buy the bread with the same price.